Peacehaven Players present Fly Me, a comedy play written and adapted for radio by Judith Foote. This sparkling and witty script was first aired in 2014, when it was performed by Peacehaven Players as a musical. This play is dedicated to the NHS. No charge is made for listening to this play, but we would ask you to donate, if you can, to our NHS fund. Details are on the screen now, on our website and all our social media.
And a representative from Global and Overland, please contact airport information.
Southwark Airport is a small but vital airport, providing short-haul flights for local travellers. Gracie and Rosie are employees of Fly Me, a holiday company specialising in the European market. Today we find them standing behind their check-in desk, whiling away the time as they wait for customers to check in for their flight to Malaga.
So I said to Eddie, it's me or her.
And he chose you?
Not exactly. He's sleeping in the spare room with her.
And you're okay with that?
Jim had to share a bed with a hairy, foul breath-smelling, ground-trumbling snorer. You'll be okay with it too.
I didn't realise Eddie snored.
Not Eddie, the bloody dog. So, you decided where you're going on your holiday?
Oh, not yet. Might go to Salou.
You better wait for someone to relieve you.
I said Salou, not the loo. Fat chance there is of anyone relieving us at the moment. They're all on their coffee break.
I'm beginning to feel a bit uncomfortable myself now. How long till our coffee break?
Oh, another hour.
I don't think I can wait that long.
Well, go to Salou then.
What?
Go to the loo. Well, there's no one here. It's been dead quiet all morning. You've got another 15 minutes before we start checking in the Malaga flight.
Well, okay. If you're sure you can hold the fort, I'll be back in a sangria.
I'll drink to that.
No sooner is Gracie gone than there is a sound of running feet.
A family burst into the check-in area. They are the Bell family. Simon Bell, his wife Trish, his mother Edna and his daughter Laura. They each have a suitcase.
Good morning and welcome to Fly Me. My name is Rosie. How may I help you?
Please hurry. We've been stuck in a coach on the motorway for 3 hours. I think they may have already called our flight.
Where are you going?
Torremolinos.
Well, the Malaga flight doesn't leave for another 3 hours. You have plenty of time.
But I thought the plane went at 14 minutes past 11.
I think you'll find it goes at 1400 hours and 11 minutes. That's 11 minutes past 2 in old money.
What's that? Do we need more money?
No, Mother. Trish has got the time wrong again.
The time? It's 11:15.
Simon, what do you mean, again?
Why don't I get you checked in and then you'll have plenty of time to relax in the departure lounge. Can I have your passports and tickets, please?
Edna pushes past Simon and Trish, who are now talking in angry undertones, to the check-in desk.
Out of my way. This is my new passport, and this is the passport I had before that, and this is my first passport.
I only require your current passport, madam. You can have these back. One of them's your nationwide book.
Do I have any interest? They wouldn't tell me in the branch. Just keep telling me to pass the port. I don't even like port.
Are you sure you didn't give them your passport instead of your savings book?
I've given you my passport. You're not having my savings book as well.
I'm sorry, my Gran's a bit deaf. It's all right, Gran. She only wants your passport.
Which one?
I need her ticket too.
You buy your own.
Gran, where's your ticket?
Oh, God, Simon, she's lost her ticket now. I told you not to give it to her.
Simon takes the books out of his mother's hands.
It's okay, Mum. It's in the nationwide book.
Simon hands the passport to Rosie.
I knew it would come in handy. Always be prepared. That's what my mother said.
I don't know how you talked me into letting your mother come on holiday with us, Simon.
Bag?
What?
She wants my bag.
I'll put it on the weighing machine.
I'm sorry, madam. I'm afraid your case is overweight.
Out of date? Nonsense. I only brought it last month.
Mother, what have you got in your suitcase?
Nothing.
I told you she's going senile.
I'm not senile.
Oh, so you heard that?
I packed my own suitcase and there's nothing in there I didn't put in myself.
Simon, just open the suitcase and take something out.
It's locked.
Well, where's the key?
They both look at Edna.
Mother, do you have the key to the suitcase?
Yes?
Well, can I have it, please?
No?
Why not?
I swallowed it.
Oh, God, she swallowed a key.
Calm down, Mum. The law of physics says it will pass through her in a few days.
I am not spending the next 3 days in this airport waiting for your grandmother to pass the key so that we can open her case, only to find out she's packed the entire contents of her kitchen.
I could ask security to come down.
To take her away?
No, to break the lock.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea.
Rosie picks up a phone and calls security.
What on earth made you swallow the key?
I didn't want to lose it.
I think she's lost it all right.
Let's just stay calm.
I'm not staying here. I want to go home.
As Edna pulls her suitcase off the weighing machine, it bursts open and the contents spills out. Amongst the assortment of clothes is a medium-sized garden gnome. Simon picks up the gnome and holds it up for all to see.
Don't tell me. He jumped in your suitcase when you weren't looking.
He's a gnome who likes to roam.
Don't be ridiculous. I've never seen him before.
That's what they all say.
In that case, it's just as well I've called security. Perhaps he's a plant.
He may live in the garden, but he's not a plant.
You mean he could be full of weed?
Why would anyone put weeds in a gnome? Put mine in the dustbin.
I'm sure there's some reasonable explanation as to why a gnome is in my mother's suitcase, and I'm happy to leave it with you. But do we have to involve security?
I'm not leaving Bertram behind.
Oh, so you did know he was in your suitcase?
Bertram? You named a gnome after my father?
He is your father.
I can see the likeness.
Simon grabs Trish and manoeuvres her away from his mother and Laura.
You don't think she's put his ashes in there, do you?
His ashes? But I thought they were in the urn on the mantelpiece.
So did I, but I'm beginning to think otherwise. If that security guard decides to open him up, oh dear, it doesn't bear thinking about.
Just put him back in the suitcase and pay the extra.
Pay the extra? Oh, all right. I suppose so.
Simon returns to the check-in desk.
Would it be possible to put the gnome back in the suitcase and I'll pay for the additional weight?
I'm not paying to wait. We've waited long enough.
I should really wait for security. But as he hasn't come, I suppose I could. Go on then, put him back in the case.
Simon stuffs the gnome back in the case. Rosie checks the remainder of the family's tickets and the cases are put onto the conveyor belt and disappear.
All done for you. Have a pleasant flight.
The family hastily exit as Gracie reappears.
Sorry to be so long, but there wasn't any toilet paper and I had to go and find the cleaner who was on her coffee break. Still, doesn't look like I missed much.
Actually, I've just had to deal with a very tricky situation.
Really?
Yes. My nail polish fell over while I was checking in the Bell family and ran all over the counter.
What colour is it?
Well, it's a sort of wood colour, same as yours.
Not the counter, the nail polish.
It's evergreen.
I suppose you can't see the wood for the trees now.
I'm going to have to go and buy some nail polish remover. I won't be long.
As Rosie heads for the exit, a couple enter, holding hands and looking lovingly into each other's eyes.
Hello, welcome to Blimey. My name is Gracie. How can I help you?
We just got married.
Congratulations. Where are you going?
On a plane.
Yes. Funny you should say that. This is an airport.
Tom won't tell me where we're going, but I've always wanted to go to Paris, the most romantic city in the world.
Paris? You're at the wrong check-in desk then. You want to go back out the way you came in and straight down to the end.
Emily, you didn't tell me you wanted to go to Paris. You said you wanted to walk in Picasso's footsteps.
Yes, at the Picasso Museum in Paris.
Oh dear.
Where are we going, Tom?
Picasso was born in Malaga.
Oh, such a wonderful city. For the beautiful architecture and ball rings. You'll love staying there.
We're staying in Torremolinos.
Torremolinos? Oh, Tom, how could you?
It's not that bad.
It's full of bars and teenagers, kiss-me-quick cats and fish and chips.
I think you're getting muddled up with Blackpool.
I don't want to go there. I'll hate it.
Emily, darling, the hotel is 4-star, right on the beach. We can go to the Alhambra Palace and Ronda while we're there. And Malaga has more art galleries and museums than anywhere else in Spain.
The Alhambra Palace? Well, why didn't you say? It's one of the places I've always wanted to visit.
Emily turns to Gracie.
He's such a romantic.
Then looks at Tom.
So thoughtful. So sweet.
Gracie can't help commenting under her breath.
So doomed.
Tom hands Gracie the tickets and passports, and she gives them their boarding passes.
Have a lovely honeymoon.
Rosie hurries back in with a bottle and a bag of cotton wool.
I've just been speaking to Tony down in security. Apparently we've got a celebrity in the building. The media are all over the place.
Who is it?
Well, I'm not supposed to say, but seeing as it's you, it's Julia Roberts.
Wow, I hope she checks in here.
I don't think Julia Roberts will be going to Malaga.
Why not? She went to Notting Hill, didn't she?
Yeah, but who wouldn't if Hugh Grant was going to be there?
She didn't know that when she went there. She found him in that bookshop.
Sometimes I think you have trouble separating real life from fiction.
No, I know there's no such place as Notting Hill.
At that moment, Carl and Frank enter the check-in area. Both employees are slimy and sporting the same company logo on their ties.
Hello, my darlings. We're here to relieve you.
You're too late. We've already relieved ourselves. But now you're here, you can take over the check-in desk.
Been busy?
You would not believe it.
I didn't even get time to paint my nails this morning.
No, but you painted the counter instead.
It's almost come off. Just looks a bit green. I'll tip brown over it next time, and it will be back to the colour it was.
Gracie and Rosie vacate their desks and saunter off for their coffee break. Carl and Frank take their positions behind the desks.
Rosie's really nice.
Tony in security has been trying to pluck up the courage to ask her out for weeks.
She's not with anyone.
Not as far as I know. You interested then?
It's probably not a good idea to date a work colleague.
And it's probably not a good idea to have a skinful at the Christmas party. But hell, we all do it.
I've never done it.
I have. I proposed to 5 different people that night. One of them was my boss.
What happened?
He gave me a pay rise.
A trio of excited ladies enter the check-in. Mo has had too much to drink and is unsteady, but appears to be on a bender, while the other ladies, Sheena and Paula, are trying to dissuade her.
Is this the duty-free?
Not unless they've just had a run on everything. I told you to wear your glasses, Mo.
I don't need them. I can see just fine. Where's the bar?
I think you had enough already.
Mo weaves across the floor to Frank's desk and thumps her fist down.
I'll have a zombie, please.
Frank reacts and he and Carl exchange knowing looks.
Madam, I'm afraid we're fresh out of zombies, but Frank will do what he can to fulfill your needs.
What about a screwdriver then?
You'll have to ask in maintenance. This is aviation.
Well, why didn't you say? I'll have one of those and make it a double.
Paula and Sheena have hung back, and Mo doesn't hear their comment.
Do you think we could abandon her?
Tempting, but as she's paying for these little Johns, I don't see how.
Paula approaches Frank.
I'm sorry. My friend is myopic.
If you ask me, she's paralytic.
Where's my drink?
This isn't the bar. It's check-in. Where's your passport and ticket?
Don't worry, I've got it. I thought I'd better take it after she tried to give it to the toilet attendant.
Where are her glasses?
That's what I want to know. Where's my glass?
She left them at home. She won't wear them. She's too vain.
I feel slightly nauseous.
Quick, give me the ticket and passport. We have to get her to the ladies.
Paula passes Sheena the tickets, who hands them to Frank. Paula holds on to a very wobbly Mo, who groans every now and then.
Can you hurry, please? My friend is just about to redecorate your check-in.
Oh, no, she's not.
Carl moves swiftly to Mo.
Ladies, allow me to offer you assistance.
Ooh, are we going to ride in one of those buggies?
I'm afraid our check-into aeroplane cars are reserved for our passengers who are disabled or have special needs. And whilst I agree your friend may have the latter, hopefully it's only temporary. In the meantime, I have a piece of equipment which should aid her recovery.
It's a sick bag.
Please feel free to keep this bag with you until you land at your destination. Have a pleasant flight, ladies.
As Carl returns to his desk, Sheena joins Mo and Paula, and they hurry Mo off towards security.
I almost feel sorry for passport control.
It's just one more bag to them.
Let's hope it's still empty when she gets there.
Yes, or it could be deemed a pretty toxic substance.
A young lady enters the check-in area with a phone in one hand and a suitcase in the other. She's on the phone to her boyfriend.
Hello, Jake. I'm at the airport. I told you I was going. No, I don't know when I'll be back again. There's a clean pair in the airing cupboard.
She ends the call, takes a deep breath, and moves over to Carl's check-in desk.
Good afternoon, madam. Welcome to Fly Me Airlines. My name is Carl. How may I help you?
I'd like to check in, please.
Of course. Do you have your ticket, please?
Yes, it's somewhere here.
She rummages through her bag.
Take your time. I know it can be upsetting when you're leaving a loved one behind.
True. But on the other hand, I'm flying off to an incredibly exciting place in a jet plane. The world is my oyster.
And where are you going?
Remolino.
She puts her ticket on the desk.
I've never heard it described like that before.
Oh, an action-packed destination full of thrills, spills and, well, mainly spills, actually. I'm sure you'll have a lovely time.
I'm going to Sharon Osbourne's villa. I'm through to the live finals.
Frank recognises the young lady.
You're Louise Ward. I recognise you now. I saw you on TV last week. I really liked your singing.
Louise smiles bashfully and moves across to Frank's desk.
Thanks. I can't believe I stand a chance of winning.
Well, you've got my vote.
Thanks. You're really nice.
Hey, hang on a moment. Let's not forget the guy she's leaving.
For a second, Frank and Louise look at Carl in bewilderment.
Who?
Never mind. Easy come, easy go.
Louise retrieves her ticket from Carl's desk and gives it to Frank.
Will you check me in, please, Frank?
My pleasure, Louise. Let's see if we can upgrade you, shall we?
Oh, yes, please.
I can do a seat in business, but no, that's not good enough, is it?
Louise shakes her head and smiles coyly.
No, Frank. Oh, no.
Here we are, a first-class seat for Miss Louise Ward.
Oh, Frank, you are good. Will you come and see me if I get through to the live shows?
Wild tigers couldn't stop me.
It's horses.
Let me give you my number. I'll get you a VIP ticket.
for a very irritating person.
Here, write it on this piece of paper.
That's her ticket?
Oh, yeah. Perhaps not then. Write it on my hand.
But what if you wash it off?
I'll never wash my hand again.
That's disgusting.
It is a bit.
Okay. Here, use this. It's a luggage label.
Louise writes a number down and hands the label back to Frank.
When shall I phone you?
Soon.
She blows him a kiss and he catches it, then watches mesmerised as she walks out of the check-in area.
You made an absolute fool of yourself.
Yeah.
She was just playing you.
Yeah.
What's she going to say when she finds out there's no first class on the plane and you've put her at the rear with extra leg room?
Leg room.
Will you snap out of it, Frank?
With an effort, Frank shakes his head as if to clear it and blinks.
I have to make a phone call.
What the... Where are you going?
At that moment, Miss Boots, a tall, willowy lady, enters, followed by 4 teenagers, all talking loudly.
Like doing a dance competition. No, girls, keep the noise down while I check us in.
Miss Boots is a teacher for a small school for girls and is in charge of the 4 girls who are competing in a dance competition in Torremolinos. While Miss Boots checks them all into their flight, the girls talk amongst themselves.
I can't believe we're going to Spain and we're going to be stuck inside, doing a dance competition.
Yeah, it's so unfair getting stuck with Miss Boots too. She's so strict.
It's not that bad. We do like the competition and get a holiday thrown in.
You think it's going to be a holiday with Bootsy breathing down our necks?
We could give her the slip.
Or we could slip her something.
In her drink.
Something to keep her out of our hair.
Anyway, the competition might not be that bad. We might win. Come on, girls, time to go through to security. Now remember, no liquids, no creams, and no fun.
The girls follow their teacher out of the check-in area as Frank hurries in, a big grin on his face.
Well?
I sent her a text.
Saying what?
It's private.
Let me guess. Something like, you are the X factor in my life.
Hey, that's not bad.
Frank runs out again.
Frank, you cannot keep leaving me this way.
Frank puts his head around the corner.
You can survive. You can stay alive. I will not be missed.
Frank disappears again.
Idiot.
While Carl is addressing the disappearing Frank, he doesn't notice a very well-dressed man and a woman in a fur wrap enter. A teenage boy follows them carrying 2 suitcases.
I beg your pardon?
Sorry, sir. I wasn't talking to you. Welcome to Fly Me. My name is Carl. How may I help you?
I am Charles Nicholas. This is my wife Sharon Nicholas and my son Dylan. We have reservations for the flight to Marbella.
You will be flying into Malaga and transferring to your resort.
But babe, we ain't going to Marbella. We're staying in Torremolinos.
The hotel is on the outskirts.
You mean it's in the middle of nowhere?
I hope it's got an hairdresser's. Me roots need doing.
Why didn't you get them done before we came away?
I didn't have time. I had to buy a new wardrobe. Took me hours to buy all them outfits.
What was wrong with the clothes you had?
They were so last year. I have to keep up with the Johnsons.
So you mean the Joneses?
Joe's gonna be there and all. Oh, God, I've got to get my hair done.
Can you confirm you packed your own suitcases?
Of course not. I've got servants to do that.
I don't think you should keep referring to your mother as a servant.
It gives her status. She likes it.
Yes, we packed our own suitcases. We haven't left them unattended.
Except when I had to dash to the lab. It wouldn't fit inside the cubicle and I had to leave it outside.
You silly woman. It could have been stolen.
What'd you take me for? I tied toilet paper to the handle and fed it under the door. So if anyone tried anything, I'd know.
And supposing someone had, would you have chased them down the corridor with your knickers around your ankles?
Knickers? What knickers?
You mean you're not?
Dylan is highly embarrassed.
This cannot be happening to me.
Here are your tickets and passports. Have a pleasant flight.
Can't very much, babe.
You're welcome, Mrs. Nicholas.
Carl claps a hand over his mouth as he realises what he has said, but Charles, Sharon and Dylan exit unperturbed, passing Frank, who is hurrying back in.
Is that the last of the passengers for the flight to Malaga?
Yes, thank goodness. I need a break.
Frank reaches into his pocket and offers Carl a Kit Kat.
Have a Kit Kat.
Thanks, that's very nice of you.
It might taste a bit funny.
Why?
Mavis found a box of them she didn't know she had.
Tastes fine to me. What was the sell-by date?
1981.
1980 what? I can't eat this.
But you said it tasted okay.
That was before I knew it was older than me. Please tell me Mavis isn't selling these to the passengers.
Oh no, she wouldn't do that. She's given them to the flight and cabin crew.
Give me strength.
You want another one?
Would the representative from Runaway please contact airport information?
The departure lounge at Southwark Airport is much like any airport lounge, rows of seats on a multicoloured swirly carpet. The seats are mostly taken by the pre-checked-in, soon-to-fly passengers who are either chatting, eating, drinking or reading. A suave man in captain's uniform enters the lounge and draws everyone's attention. Mo lurches to her feet and as he passes flings her arms around his neck.
Dance with me!
Madam, this is an airport, not a nightclub. Have you been drinking?
Of course I have. What else would I do in a nightclub?
Come on, Mo. Let the nice gentleman go. He's got to fly the plane.
The captain extricates himself from Mo, tips his hat to Paula and smoothly exits. Meanwhile, the Bell family are waiting anxiously for their flight to be called.
I'm sure they'll call our flight very soon now, Trish.
Do you think I've got time to go to the loo?
Why do you want to know the time? Oh, it's 1:25.
Thank you, Mother. But Trish, you've been 3 times already.
It's nerves. I hate flying.
Sharon Nicholas is sitting behind Trish and overhears her.
Oh, babe, me too. You want to get a couple of shots. Relaxes parts of you never knew you had.
Yeah, her brain.
Charles frowns at his son's comment.
Now, Dylan.
Shots? Oh, we didn't hear any shots. Oh, shooting!
Be quiet, Mother. You'll get us all arrested.
It's no good, Simon. I've got to go.
Well, don't be long.
Dylan Nicholas spots the Bell's daughter Laura and moves to sit next to her.
Hi.
Hi.
Where are you heading?
Torremolinos, if my family don't get thrown into jail first.
Your family look pretty normal compared to mine.
Believe me, my family make the Addams family look normal. I'm sure I've seen your mum somewhere before. Is she famous?
They both turn to look at Sharon, who is sprawled in unladylike fashion in her seat.
She's not my mother. My father hit a midlife crisis and decided to live a little dangerously. She was the danger. Now he's dangerously close to bankruptcy. We're supposed to be going to Marbella, but I have a feeling we could be slumming it in Torremolinos too. Sorry, no offence. We might run into each other.
We might.
Mo shrieks with laughter. And everyone looks round.
She staggers over to Charles Nicholas and falls into his lap.
Hello, big boy. Do you want to dance with me? Why is the room spinning? Do I know you? Are you the captain?
Sheena and Paula try to pull Mo out of Charles's lap.
I'm sorry. She's a little the worse for wear.
That's quite all right. You could say I'm used to it. My wife likes a few drinks to ease the nerves.
But a lot of drinks make you a liability.
Sheena and Paula manage to remove Mo from Charles's lap, and Paula leads her to a seat on the other side of the room.
I'm Charles, and you are?
Sheena.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Sheena. I hope you have a nice holiday.
Thanks. You too.
Sheena joins her friends, and Charles watches her walk away. Emily and Tom, the now not-so-love-struck honeymooners, are sitting reading.
Tom? According to Ptolemy, Torremolinos was discovered by the Phoenicians. However, they called it Seduce.
And that's where I'm going to seduce you, in Seduce.
But it's called Torremolinos now.
Then I'll Torremolo off instead.
You're just being silly.
Tom puts his arm around her shoulders.
Come on, Em, lighten up. We're on our honeymoon.
Not the honeymoon I had in mind.
Okay, I admit I was slightly off with the destination.
1,122.4 miles to be precise.
How do you know that?
I have an IQ of 145.
You Googled it, didn't you?
You're cleverer than you look.
There's no such word as cleverer.
There is in the American dictionary.
Don't you think I look like an intellectual?
No, you look like my husband.
Tom pulls Emily slightly towards him.
That's okay then, wifey.
Hey, hang on a minute.
Will all passengers for the Flyme flight to Malaga please begin boarding at gate 1?
All the passengers stand and begin to make their way out of the departure lounge. Simon, Edna and Laura are waiting for Trish to return from the ladies.
She's taking her time.
It's 1:40.
I hope she's all right.
We need to get on the plane. Come on, Laura.
Dad?
Yes. Go and get in the queue. We'll be with you in a minute.
My mother said, make sure you go before you leave home.
How do you do that?
As Edna and Laura exit, Miss Boots and her girls enter the lounge.
That was really very naughty of you girls. How you got past the attendant at the door of the VIP lounge, I will never know.
We thought we saw you go in there, Miss Boots.
But when we got inside, we saw Julia Roberts doing a press conference.
You thought I was Julia Roberts? No, we thought you were her bodyguard.
Did you smell the man's body odour?
Man?
He was a very small man.
Yeah, a bit like a dwarf.
I think we need to join the queue and get on the plane.
The girls smile at each other behind Miss Boots' back as she leads them over to the exit. Simon is becoming agitated as he waits for Trish and is both relieved and cross when she arrives.
Finally! Where have you been? I thought we were going to miss the plane.
Everything's fine. I'm here now.
As Simon bends to pick up the hand luggage, Trish knocks back the contents of the shot glass and places a glass on a chair. As they walk over to the exit, it is apparent that Trish is a little unsteady. At the door to the airplane, the captain has positioned himself with Rosie and Gracie to greet the passengers as they board. As Louise arrives, he steps forward with a welcoming smile.
Good afternoon, young lady. May I say how lovely you look? Can I help you find your seat?
I'm in first class.
Louise gives her ticket to the captain, while Rosie and Gracie exchange knowing looks.
First class, eh? Allow me to escort you.
Frank appears from the airplane's galley.
Louise!
The captain studies Frank's steward's badge.
Ah, Air Steward Frank, I believe you should be in economy.
But I...
No buts, off you go.
Louise offers Frank a sympathetic smile as she follows the captain into the plane.
Now, where were we? First class, I believe, for a first-class lady.
I see Captain Chalmers is on form today.
Am I missing something here? We don't have first class.
I gave her extra leg room.
That'll please the captain.
The passengers file into the plane and take their seats. Mo arrives. She has sobered up a little, but is still making demands on her travelling companions.
Come on, Mo, keep moving.
When's the film start?
I don't think they show films on short-haul flights.
But I want to see snakes on a plane.
Here we are. Do you want to sit next to the window, Mo?
No, I'm scared I might fall out.
The window can't open.
There might be a blowout.
You'd have to be a pygmy to fit through that window.
Her head could get sucked out, but her body would still be inside and she wouldn't be able to breathe.
Their head would explode.
The ladies all turn to look at Dylan, who is sitting across the aisle, and then dismiss him.
Paula, you sit by the window. Mo, sit next to her. I will sit over here.
Once the three ladies sit down, Trish and Simon move to their seats in front of Edna and Laura.
It's 2:10. You've been holding up the entire plane.
Frank, not to say that.
Well, it's true. Someone should put a bomb under your mother. That'll get her moving.
Simon turns around and glares at his mother.
Mother, seriously, shut up.
Well,
Carl takes his position at the front of the aircraft, while Frank and Rosie space themselves along the gangway for the safety demonstration.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board this fly me flight to sunny Malaga. In a few moments, we'll be taxiing to the runway. My name is Carl, I'm your chief steward, and I will be joined by Rosie, Gracie and Frank, who will endeavour to make your flight as comfortable as possible. I know the seats are cramped and your personal space is being invaded, but please remember, in 3 hours, you will be sunning yourself on the beach alongside thousands of others. Please make sure your seat is in the upright position, or the person sitting behind you will hit their head on it if we have to brake sharply. Your seatbelt is fastened, or you will fall out of your seat if we have to do a loop-de-loop. Just joking. And your overhead light is turned off. I haven't a clue why. This is a non-smoking aircraft, but if anyone sees smoke coming from the tail or wing, please let me know and I'll tell the captain. Please turn off all mobile phones and any electronic devices, as this could interfere with the captain's communication controls and he's expecting an urgent call from his mother. You will find a safety booklet in the back of the seat in front of you. Please feel free to use this to attract attention, as the call button is currently unavailable. Now, if you're at all worried about what happens in an emergency, and just to cover all bases, my lovely assistants will now demonstrate. To fasten your seatbelt, breathe in, push it in, tighten and lift to the release. In the event we lose cabin pressure, an oxygen mask will drop down from above.
At this point, Frank realises he doesn't have an oxygen mask and tries to take Rosie's.
If there aren't enough, please share nicely. Should the plane make an emergency landing in the sea and we have to deploy the blow-up slide, please remember to remove shoes and any clothing with zips or fasteners before exiting the aircraft.
Rosie unzips her skirt. And Frank unzips his trousers.
Thank you, Rosie and Frank. We are now ready to take off. Please cross-check.
Rosie and Frank begin checking everyone's seatbelts. The captain, who's been sitting with Louise at the rear of the plane, stands up and walks down the aisle.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am your captain. I have just been overseeing some important matters in... Hello, Frank. In first class. I believe we are now ready to get this bird in the air. Get me a coffee, Frank.
The captain disappears through the door of the cockpit. Frank is furious. He opens his mouth to speak, but Carl puts his finger to his lips.
Crew to positions for takeoff.
The crew take their seats and the plane taxis to the runway. With engines roaring, it lurches forward and gathers speed. Lifting effortlessly into the sky. As the plane levels out, a bing-bong sound is heard, announcing the seatbelt release option. The crew start preparing the trolley for food and drink sales.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. My name is Captain Chalmers, and my co-pilot is Will Float. Nice guy, bit of an airhead. We will be flying at an altitude of...
The captain taps his instrument panel.
Oh dear, it doesn't seem to be working. Fine, we're quite high up, as you can see. We will be flying over the Pyrenees. No, sorry, make that the Alps. They all look the same from up here. But don't worry, you are in safe hands. This thing virtually flies itself. So sit back and enjoy our in-house hospitality.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now able to offer you a selection of hot and cold drinks, as well as a variety of snacks. Please see the refreshment card in the pocket of the seat in front for details and prices. Please try to have the correct money, as the calculator's broken.
The Nicholas family are discussing their order.
I'll have champagne and caviar.
You'll have a bottle of water and a cheese and ham sandwich.
I'll have a beer and the breakfast special.
You'll have the same as your stepmother.
Why do parents have to be so boring?
Dylan opens the bag between his feet and takes out an electronic device. As he does so, he pulls out a lead, which lands, unnoticed by him, in the aisle. Tom is feeling in a celebratory mood.
Shall we have champagne then?
Not a good idea on an empty stomach. And at the moment, I could eat a horse.
I can't see any horse on the menu. How about a beef burger?
I suppose you think that's funny?
You were the one who said you wanted to eat a horse. I was just trying to rein you in.
Did I really only marry you 24 hours ago? I must have lost my mind.
Well, you certainly seem to have lost your sense of humour.
Sorry. It's a disappointment.
I mean, I'm a disappointment. Or just the location?
I'm not sure.
Oh, great. Thanks a lot.
Tom slumps despondently in his seat, and Emily goes back to the book she is reading. No is trying to read the menu.
I can't see anything on this menu.
No, it's a pretty poor selection, isn't it?
I think she means she really can't see anything.
The writing is so small.
Here, you can borrow my glasses if you want.
Sharon, who is sitting behind, passes her glasses to Mo.
I can see. Everything is so big.
Mo looks down and sees Dylan's lead on the floor.
What's that? Ah! It's a snake! There's a snake on the plane!
What? Ah! Ah!
The passengers look to see what is going on. Carl and Frank rush up the aisle. Charles picks up the cable and holds it up.
I'll think you'll find this snake is harmless, unless you plug it in.
Oh, my heart is racing. I hate snakes.
How do you feel about cables?
No problem. Whose is it anyway?
Dylan?
Yeah, that's mine. Thanks.
So is everyone all right? No need to call on the services of Samuel L. Jackson?
Perhaps you should call on Captain Snake Charmer.
You wouldn't be referring to our captain, would you, Frank?
The one and only.
Why don't you start taking orders at the rear of the plane?
Louise is at the rear of the plane.
Precisely.
Good idea.
Frank disappears towards the rear of the plane, while Rosie and Gracie bring the trolley out and stop by Tom and Emily.
Can I offer you any refreshment?
Coffee, please.
Water, please.
Gracie and Rosie exchange knowing glances as they serve their drinks. Rosie asks Mo and Paula,
Can I get you anything?
Prosecco, please.
Mo, you've had enough.
You're damn right I've had enough. That bloody snake was the last straw. I'm going to get smashed now.
Rosie holds up a bottle of J2O. Paula smiles and nods.
Anything else?
Black coffee, a ham sandwich, and a packet of peanuts, please.
Gracie has reached Sheena.
Madam, what can I get you?
Charles leans across to Sheena.
Sheena, please let me pay for this, to make amends for my son's escaped cable.
That's not necessary, but very kind. I'll have a tea, please.
I'm sure you must be hungry too.
Charles addresses Gracie.
We'll have 4 cheese and ham sandwiches and 3 bottles of water, please.
Rosie draws level with Simon Bell. Trish is asleep on his shoulder.
It's Mr. Bell, isn't it? What can I get you, sir?
Can I have 2 coffees, a tea and a Pepsi, please? You're the lady who checked us in, aren't you?
Yes, sir, I did.
I don't understand. How come you're an air steward as well?
It's a new Slimy initiative. To ensure our passengers enjoy their holiday from start to finish, we oversee every aspect.
But you'll be going back on the next flight, right?
No, sir. We'll be accompanying you to your hotel, staying on hand to offer support and guidance.
Wow, that really is special.
We like to think so.
Rosie passes Edna her tea and Laura her Pepsi.
I don't want tea.
Mother, you always have tea.
No one asked me what I wanted.
Madam, what would you like?
Whiskey.
Just whiskey?
I don't care what make it is. I'll have a double.
Sorry, she's a bit keyed up on account of her swallowing a tea.
And pretty soon she'll be all whiskied up.
Trish suddenly wakes up.
Oh, my head. I had a terrible dream. I was flying, and your mother was there, and...
Trish glances out of the window.
I am flying!
She grips Simon by the lapels.
Where am I?
Somewhere over France. Here, drink some coffee.
I'd rather have what your mother's having.
You might now, but in a couple of hours' time you wish you hadn't.
Your husband's right. Have some coffee, and here's some water. Try to stay hydrated.
Frank walks back down the aisle with a big smile on his face.
You look pleased with yourself.
Gracie, I'm the cat who got the cream.
Look out. Here comes the captain. He might be after the cream himself.
Captain Chalmers appears in the cockpit doorway and approaches Tom and Emily.
I hear we have a very special couple on board today. Carl, can we have some champagne for the newlyweds, please?
Tom looks uncomfortable and Emily's sulky.
Enjoy your champagne and my best wishes for the future. Now, where's that lady in first class?
Gracie, he's coming this way. Block him.
Frank swings the trolley so it's at an angle across the aisle. At that moment, Mo starts to choke.
Mo, are you okay? She's choking. Can someone help, please?
Out of my way!
Frank pulls Mo out of her seat and performs the Heimlich manoeuvre. A peanut shoots out of her mouth and hits the captain in the eye.
Ah, my eye! What was that?
It was only a peanut.
You blinded me!
Don't look at me, it was her.
Frank indicates Mo, who has half collapsed in his arms.
I can't fly the plane with one eye.
Well, who's flying it at the moment?
It's on autopilot.
We have a co-pilot. There's no need for alarm. Come with me, Captain. Let's get some ice on that eye.
Carl steers the captain back down the aisle to the galley. Mo turns to Frank.
You saved my life. Don't I know you?
No, madam. I'm just another zombie. Glad I could be of service.
Miss Boots and her girls are seated towards the rear of the plane.
I wonder if you could have some refreshments back here, please.
Frank deposits the confused Mo back into her seat and pushes the trolley up to Miss Boots.
Of course. What would you like?
Milk. 5 glasses of milk. It's nutritious and calming. Can't we have Coke? Certainly not. It's full of sugar.
Not if it's free.
Nothing is free.
Do you have any free?
Sure.
If it's free, can we have it, Miss Boots?
You have free drinks?
Yes, I've got 7-Up free.
Very well then. I'll have 5 of those.
Frank hands out cans of 7-Up free.
Anything for you, madam?
No, I'm having a free one.
That will be £12, please.
What? You said they were free.
They are, but they still cost £12.
Really? This is most irregular.
I've got regular if you'd prefer it.
Is regular cheaper?
No, it's the same price as free.
Miss Boots mumbles to herself in annoyance as she digs in her purse for the money.
Yes, absolutely. I don't see how it can cost £12 if it's free.
Behind Miss Boots' back, the girls are congratulating themselves and laughing as Frank takes the money. Rosie wheels the trolley back down the aisle, collecting rubbish as she goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We have started our descent into Malaga and will be landing as soon as I can get clearance from the guy in the tower who should be back from his lunch break in 20 minutes. The temperature on the ground is a balmy 28 degrees and we have clear skies. I hope you have enjoyed your flight with Fly-Me and I look forward to seeing you again, hopefully with both eyes.
20 minutes? I need to use the toilet.
Good idea. I think I'll go with you.
Simon and Trish make their way to the front of the plane. Mo realises she needs the toilet too.
Sheena, where is the toilet?
Come on, I'll take you. I need to go too.
Oh, look, they're all going to the toilet. I think I'll go too.
Sharon half climbs over Charles and joins the toilet queue. Minutes later, Carl's voice is heard over the speaker system.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please take your seats and fasten your seatbelts? We will be landing very soon.
The passengers gradually return to their seats, except for Sharon, who is still waiting.
If I don't go soon, I'm going to have an incident.
As the rear toilet becomes vacant, Carl takes Sharon's arm and leads her to the back.
This way, madam. As quickly as you can now, please. Cross-check, cabin crew.
The cabin crew start checking everyone's seatbelts are fastened.
Cabin crew to your seats.
Carl goes to the toilet door and calls to Sharon, who is still in there.
Madam, you need to take your seat now.
I can't.
Madam, you need to come out.
I'm having a bit of trouble.
Dylan mutters under his breath.
Nothing new there.
What sort of trouble?
Please don't ask.
I dropped me lippy down the loo. And now it's stuck.
Your lippy is stuck?
No, me hand.
This can't get any worse.
Charles joins Carl at the door.
Open the door, Sharon. It's me, Charles.
I can't reach.
Steward, can you open the door?
I'll have to get a screwdriver.
Carl hurries down the aisle to the galley.
Try wriggling it.
I've done that. I'm all wriggled out. I wouldn't mind, but it was a new one. Suppose it's in the Sierra Brava now.
I think you mean the Sierra Nevada.
I don't care if it's the bloody Tango Foxtrot.
Carl hurries up the aisle with a screwdriver. Frank and Rosie closely follow him.
Do we really need all of you?
Frank is our first aider, and Rosie is here in case your wife needs to speak to another woman.
Do you know how to repair chipped nail polish while your hand is stuck inside a toilet bowl? On a plane that is hurtling downwards at 137 miles per minute?
Sir, we are all here to bring this unfortunate incident to a satisfactory conclusion.
Damn! The lock's snapped.
On the other hand, excuse the pun, perhaps not.
What about my wife?
Touchdown in 1 minute.
Madam?
We will get you out very soon, but for the moment, hold on.
Seat now.
Carl, Frank and Rosie rush to their own seats. The plane touches down and lightly bounces a couple of times before it slows. The passengers hear the captain say,
That was a nice smooth landing, if I say so myself.
Ow!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Malaga Airport. Please remain seated with your seatbelts on until the aircraft comes to a standstill. On behalf of my co-pilot and myself, I wish you a safe onward journey and a pleasant holiday.
The passengers turn to the rear of the plane as Sharon staggers out of the toilet holding up her lipstick.
Did I hear someone mention a screwdriver? I think I'll have two.
It is a beautiful sunny morning on the terrace of the Hotel Splendido. Rosie and Gracie are pouring glasses of sangria in preparation for the group welcome meeting.
Do you think Miss Nicholas will make it down for the meeting?
Definitely. She'll be able to smell the free glass of sangria from her balcony.
Poor woman. The doctor says she was lucky not to lose her hand.
If you ask me, she'd lost her head. Honestly, who puts their hand down a public toilet?
For a lipstick? It's not as if you could use it again, is it?
They look at each other as they realise that must have been Sharon's intention.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I wonder if she'll be wearing it this morning.
Well, we'll know if she looks a bit flushed.
Or she might just look lovely.
Carl and Frank enter the terrace. Frank is limping.
Hola, señoritas! Are we ready to meet our holiday makers?
Oh, yes. We got booze, news and tours. We need the card machine, though. You had it.
Oh, yes. I'll just go and get it.
Carl exits.
You haven't been to Torremolinos before, have you, Frank?
No, but I've already been out for a reconnoitre.
Would that be to look at Sharon Osbourne's villa?
Sharon Osbourne's got a villa here.
Yes, it's all over the news. Someone broke into the grounds this morning and they released the Rottweilers. Are you okay? You were limping when you came in.
It's nothing. I tripped coming out of the shower. They have these really large lips on them.
Rosie turns to Gracie.
I thought Rottweilers had really large teeth. But I suppose they'd have large lips too.
Carl re-enters with the card machine. He is accompanied by Mo, Paula and Sheena.
How is your suite, ladies?
It's very nice, but the view is awful.
But it has a 180-degree view of the beach.
Exactly. All those hunky lifeguards down there, and I can't see a single one.
Oh, of course. You don't have your glasses with you.
No, it's not that. I can see very well with my binoculars. It's the blasted umbrellas. Can't see anything but a sea of yellow.
Don't worry, Mo. After the meeting, we'll go down to the beach and you can feast your eyes, your binoculars, on the lifeguards.
It gives a whole new meaning to Baywatch.
Tom appears on the edge of the terrace. He hovers uncertainly, and it is Gracie who welcomes him.
Hello there. Come in. Would you like a glass of sangria?
No, thanks. I've just had breakfast.
Is your wife coming?
No. She's got a headache.
Oh, I am sorry. Well, take a seat. We'll get started shortly.
Edna bursts onto the terrace, followed by Simon, Trish and Laura. She makes a beeline for Rosie.
I want a word with you.
Good morning, madam. How can I help you?
I haven't slept a wink. There's a blasted boiler underneath my room and it's gurgling and banging all night long.
I think you'll find that's the all-night disco. I am sorry. We'll arrange for you to move to a quieter room.
What's that you're saying? I want a quieter room. Sounds like an infernal disco underneath me.
How is your room, Mr. and Mrs. Bell?
I'm sorry?
You can take your earplugs out now.
Oh, yes. I'll take my earplugs out.
They are a bit noisy.
Oh, Simon, it's like being in the middle of a heavy rock festival.
Oh, dear, I am sorry. There was a bit of a mix-up on room allocations. We'll make sure you have new rooms by this evening. Have a glass of sangria.
Oh, lovely.
The Bell family all take a glass. From somewhere inside the hotel, Sharon's voice reaches those on the terrace.
Here! It's out here on the terrace.
Sharon appears in a leopard print mini dress and blonde hairpiece.
Hello, everyone. I told him you was out here. Ooh, lovely. Sangria.
Good morning, madam. How is your hand?
Hello, Frank. Oh, it's all right. I don't know what you flushed down them loos, but it's really made me ring sparkle.
Sharon flashes her hand so everyone can see her rings. There are mixed reactions of interest and distaste. Charles and Dylan enter.
Good morning.
Charles declines the sangria and takes a seat beside Sharon, while Dylan finds a seat beside Laura. Carl takes his position in front of the guests.
I believe we're all here, so a very warm welcome to Hotel Splendido on the very sunny Costa del Sol.
Carl becomes aware of Emily, who is standing in the doorway. Everyone turns to look at her.
I didn't want to miss the trip to Granada.
Of course not. Come in. There's a seat next to your husband.
Gracie ushers Emily into the seat next to Tom, but they ignore each other. Gracie and Rosie exchange knowing looks.
So, to continue, the hotel is situated right on the beach, as you can see. The sea is literally a stone's throw away. Sunbeds can be hired for the day and are quite inexpensive.
Edna turns to Trish and moans.
I don't know why we came to this resort. If there are stones on the beach and the sunbeds are expensive.
We did it on purpose to annoy you. Next time we'll go somewhere really unpleasant.
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Probably just as well.
Mr. Bell, does your mother have a hearing aid? There may be a loop in the hotel.
No, she won't admit she's deaf.
I heard that. You can't wait to get rid of me.
How true.
I said deaf, not dead. I think you'd better carry on. This could go on for quite a time.
10:30. Why can't you look at your own watch?
Getting back to our presentation, Frank will now talk to you about the tours we have on offer. And afterwards, you will have the opportunity to ask questions and make bookings.
Frank suddenly becomes aware of Louise standing in the doorway.
Louise!
I just wanted to make sure you were all right.
Louise is referring to the bite on Frank's leg, but he reacts as if she is inquiring after his health.
Yes, fine. How are you?
Louise realises he can't talk.
Very well, thank you. I'll just sit down here and listen to your talk.
Good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have several tours for you to go on. We have a cruise along the coast, a day trip to Malaga and Ronda, and another to Granada, which takes in the historic Alhambra Palace and Gardens, and of course our pièce de résistance, a night at La Scala where we will eat, drink and be very merry.
Oh, sounds right up my street. I'm the life and soul of the party, me.
So, I have leaflets on each of the tours and vouchers if you want to book. I must emphasise, some of our tours do sell out, so to avoid disappointment, it is best to book now. Mo, you have a question?
Who will be taking us on these tours?
I will be taking the cruise. Carl will be...
Oh, I want the cruise then. I know you're not going to disappoint me. Frank saved my life, everyone.
Get your credit card out, Charlie. I want to go on the cruise with Frank.
I think we should go to Granada. I would like to see the palace. A little bit of culture will do us both good.
I hear they have a showing of Picasso at the moment.
Really, Sheena? How wonderful. Are you a fan?
Oh, Picasso's the hottest thing since sliced bread. He really knows how to put on a show. I think I saw him at the O2.
Yes, I find his work disturbing and yet appealing.
That's what I thought of the Sex Pistols when they first came out. Nowadays, I prefer Michael Bublé.
Some of the guests are making bookings with the 4 tour reps. The remainder are waiting their turn. The captain enters wearing an eye patch over his injured eye. He sees Louise and his face lights up.
Why, Louise, what a wonderful surprise. I didn't expect to see you here. I thought you were at Sharon Osbourne's villa. Oh dear, you're not being sent home, are you?
Oh, I hope not. The sing-off is being filmed this afternoon. I just popped over to see Frank.
Frank?
The captain frowns as he tries to recall Frank.
Do I know him?
Frank has spotted the captain and is making faces at Louise.
No, probably not. Are you staying in this hotel?
Ha 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 ha! Oh heavens no! I'm at the 5-star Hilton just down the road. I came along to see if Rosie or Gracie were free for a spot of yachting. But now that I've met you, well, they pale into insignificance. Can I buy you a drink?
No, thank you. I have to get back to the villa.
Well, good luck. If you need a place to stay, just ask for Captain Chalmers at the Hilton. They all know me.
The captain saunters off to stand behind Rosie and Gracie and wait for them to finish. The guest wanders off once they have made their purchases. Frank finishes his last customer and dashes over to Louise, forgetting his hurt leg. In mid-flight, he begins to hobble in pain.
Oh, you are hurt. Have you seen a doctor?
It's nothing. I've had worse bites.
From mosquitoes?
No, passengers.
You look so funny running across the lawn with the dogs behind you. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry.
I shed a few tears myself when they caught up with me.
Oh, you poor dear.
Louise puts her hands on Frank's arms.
Are you going to make it all better?
Not here. Not now. But maybe later. I have to get back and warm up.
You're cold.
Frank puts his arms around her.
I'll warm you up.
Not my body. It's 30 degrees in the shade. My voice.
I wish I could come and listen to you this afternoon.
Don't you dare. I don't need any distractions. I have to stay focused. This is my big chance.
Okay, I'll stay away. Let me walk you to your taxi.
With his arm around his shoulders, Frank and Louise leave the terrace. This leaves the captain, Rosie, Gracie and Carl. The captain watches them depart.
I don't know what she sees in him. He can't even walk without limping. Never noticed that on the plane. Perhaps it suits him better to be off balance. Oh well, what are you girls up to today? I've hired a yacht. Fancy coming out with me? We could anchor in one of the bays and you could sunbathe on the deck.
Thanks, Captain, but I have to unpack and ring home.
Me too. Perhaps another day.
I'm not doing anything. I'll come with you.
The captain's face drops.
Perhaps we should do it another day.
Nonsense. You've hired the yacht now. You don't want to lose your money. I'll just go and slip into something more comfortable and I'll be right with you.
Carl runs eagerly back into the hotel.
Are you girls sure you won't come? It'll be fun. I'll buy champagne.
And lunch.
Of course.
Okay, I'll go and get my Factor 50 and my bodysuit.
Gracie follows Carl.
Her what?
Her bodysuit. It covers her from head to toe, stops the sun rays and other dangerous elements.
Rosie picks up the paperwork and exits into the hotel.
It just gets better and better.
Meanwhile, in downtown Torremolinos, Miss Boots and her pupils are anxiously waiting backstage in the Flamenco Theatre.
Well, here we are, girls. The Torremolinos National Dancing Competition. What's the matter, Olivia? I feel sick. You'll be fine once you're on stage. Now, just remember, girls, maintain your posture at all times. Ensure your balance. Stay in time with the music and each other. Smile and don't forget to breathe. We don't want anyone passing out.
I think I'm going to pass out.
It's so hot.
Miss Boots mops her brow with her hanky.
Yes, it is a little, but we must think cool.
How do we do that?
Think jelly and ice cream. I need a bucket. Wait here. I'll go and see if they can put some air conditioning on.
Miss Boots hurries out of the room, and a couple of minutes later, a Spanish lady with a clipboard enters.
Calling St. Maud's School to Siesta.
That's us. What do we do?
Trust Bootsy to desert us now. We better go.
The girls follow the lady with the clipboard out of the room. Back on the hotel terrace, Dylan has found a shady spot and is sitting at a table with his iPad and a drink when Laura enters. She stops when she sees him.
Hi again. What are you doing?
Homework.
Homework? In the summer? Are you mad?
My father pays for me to go to this really expensive private college, and if I don't work while I'm here, he's threatened to take me out and send me to a state one.
That's mean. You said your father was nearly bankrupt. Perhaps he can't afford to send you there anymore.
No, I don't think that's it. I just think he wants me to do well.
What does your father do?
He's a director. Insurance or something. What about your father?
He's a teacher. My mum's a secretary. And we have a dog called Shorty.
Is he very short?
No, we named him after Shortcake Biscuit.
Why?
Because soon after we got him, he knocked the biscuit tin off the counter and walked down the block.
Your grandmother's quite a character, isn't she?
You're telling me. She hid a garden gnome in her suitcase and swallowed the key.
Almost makes my stepmother look normal.
Do you think they're alien?
Quite possibly. Would you like to come with me to the hotel disco tonight?
Only if you leave your homework in your room.
Mo, Paula and Sheena walk up from the beach and sit down at a table.
I need a drink.
Mo, I can't believe you pretended to drown so the lifeguard would come and save you.
Supposing someone had been in trouble and had needed his services.
You're only jealous. You don't know what it feels like to be held in the arms of a muscular bronze Adonis.
Neither do you. He was a skinny 14-year-old with acne.
Was he? Oh, what a disappointment. Pass me that cocktail menu, Sheena. I need a pick-me-up. I think I'll have sex on the beach.
I'd have thought you'd had enough for one day, but it's your money. Do you want one too, Paula?
No, thanks. I'll have an orgasm.
Sheena goes into the hotel to order the drink.
I love this cocktail hour.
Any hour is cocktail hour where you're concerned.
I'm looking forward to the cruise tomorrow with Frank. He's a dish.
Without your specs on, I'm surprised you can tell.
I've had first-hand experience, up close and personal. His hands were all over me.
He was performing the Heimlich manoeuvre.
I know. So sexy.
There's a food menu here. Do you want to order something to eat?
Perhaps something light. I'll have the double quarter pounder with French fries and a salad.
You said something light.
Well, the salad is light. Oh, and don't forget, I want lots of mayonnaise on it.
Sheena and Charles appear from the hotel with drinks in their hands.
My favorite painting has to be Still Life Moving Fast by Salvador Dali. I adore surrealism.
Then you must go to Marbella. There's a gallery there exhibiting some of his paintings.
Oh, that would be marvelous. Could I get a bus, do you think?
We will go in a taxi. I was going to go anywhere, and it would be my pleasure to introduce you to the city of Marbella.
Oh, that's very kind of you, but you must let me pay for my share.
How does Thursday sound?
Fine. Sharon won't mind if I come too, will she?
Sharon wouldn't set foot in an art gallery. I think she's planning on having her hair done.
Right.
Sheena and Charles move over to Mo and Paula and set the drinks on the table.
Hello, ladies. Did you enjoy your morning on the beach?
Oh, yes. I had a lovely time splashing about in the water.
Jolly good. I'll see you later, Sheena.
Bye, Charles.
Charles moves over to talk to Dylan and Laura, and then they both follow him into the hotel.
You're getting rather chummy.
We were discussing art.
Do you want anything to eat, Sheena? I'm going to order.
Sheena picks up the menu as Sharon wanders in off the beach.
Phew, it ain't half hot out there. I'm sweating like a mare. Ooh, you've got sex on the beach. Just what I fancy. If I could find my husband, I might get lucky. He's always got the money.
He was here a moment ago. He went into the hotel with your son and Laura.
Sharon plops into a nearby seat.
He's not mine, you know, Dylan. Although some people say he looks a bit like me. I'd have had to have had him at 14 for him to be mine. Heaven knows why they called him Dylan. Sounds like something off the Magic Roundabout.
Wasn't that Doodle?
No, it was Dill.
You mean the herd?
Yeah, they lived on Wimbledon Common.
No, they were Wombles.
Oh, well, they could have been the wooden tops for all I care.
Dylan appears from the hotel.
Oh, here he is. We was just talking about you.
Dad wants to know if you're coming in for lunch.
Have I ever missed a meal?
Regrettably, no.
Sorry?
I said, not if there's gatto.
Dylan turns abruptly and stalks back inside. Sharon rises.
That's true. I've got a very sweet tooth. See you later, ladies. Coming, Dill.
Sharon follows Dylan into the hotel.
That poor boy.
That poor man.
What about me? I'm dying of starvation here.
Come on, girls. Let's go and eat inside.
The three gather up their belongings and go into the hotel. As Tom and Emily arrive on the terrace.
I thought the old town was very quaint.
Yes, it was.
How's your head?
Better, thanks.
Shall we get some lunch?
I'm not really hungry.
Emily, we need to talk.
We are talking.
Yes, as if we're strangers. I know I got the destination wrong, but the hotel is nice, the area is nice, and even the people are nice. Why are you so mad at me?
I'm not mad at you. I'm just scared.
Scared of what?
Commitment. It suddenly hit me on the plane. We're married to each other. Forever.
Are you telling me you want a divorce? Because it won't be difficult. Hell, we could even have an annulment. We haven't even had sex since we said, I do.
Is that what you want?
No, nothing has changed for me. I still love you. I still want to be with you. I want to grow old with you. Only if you want it too.
I want to be with you too. I'm not sure about the growing old bit though. I really don't want to grow old.
Hey, that's more like it. There's my Emily. Let's just take it one day at a time.
You're too good for me, Tom.
I know, but hey, one of us has to be the good one.
I do love you.
I know. You just need time to adapt to a new situation. I understand.
Thank you.
Right, talk over. Let's go and order champagne and retire to our room for the afternoon. We've got some making up to do.
But Tom, I haven't had anything to eat yet. It'll go straight to my head.
I'll order a dish of oysters too.
Tom takes Emily's hand and pulls her into the hotel. Trish and Simon have been sunbathing by the pool and stroll onto the terrace.
Is my back red? It feels a bit hot.
Oh, it is a bit pink. Better put some after sun on it. I've got some in my bag. Here you are.
But this is suntan lotion.
No, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. Oh dear.
What?
I think I may have put after sun on your back this morning.
Why would you put after sun on my back before I've been sunbathing?
The bottles, they look the same.
But one is blue and the other is white.
Oh, I thought the white one was the suntan lotion. White for white skin? The blue was for cooling?
You could have tried reading the label. Is it worth putting more after sun on my back, do you think?
Oh, yes. You can never have enough.
It's your fault I have to have any.
Edna suddenly rushes onto the terrace from the hotel.
Who's gone?
Your father!
Oh, God. Here we go again.
I know, Mum. He went 6 months ago.
No, not your father. Bertram.
Are you by any chance talking about the gnome?
I'm talking about my gnome.
She really is losing it this time.
What's the time got to do with it? It's 1:15.
Where was he?
Don't you mean it?
In my bedroom on the dressing table. Somebody's stolen him.
Why would anyone want to steal a garden gnome?
She probably put it in the cupboard. We'll have to go and have a look.
Rosie follows Edna out of the hotel.
Oh, there you all are. I've been on the lookout for you. We had to move quickly, I'm afraid, as the hotel is fully booked. We've gone ahead and moved your belongings as we need to clean your rooms for the new guests arriving today. You're now on the top floor. View's lovely from up there.
That explains everything. My mother thought her gnome had been stolen.
Oh, yes, the gnome. Well, now he has a new home.
Her quip is met with stony silence and she sobers.
I'll take you up.
Rosie turns and re-enters the hotel.
What's she saying?
She says your room was for single occupancy and Bertram had to go.
Edna lets out a strangled cry and clutches her heart.
Trish! It's all right, Mother. Trish was joking. Bertram, I mean the gnome, has been moved to a new room. Come on, we're going there now.
Simon takes his mother's arms while looking daggers at Trish, and they follow Rosie into the hotel. Meanwhile, back at the Torremolinos dance competition, the 4 pupils from St Maud's School have performed their dance. They're all exhilarated from their performance and full of excitement.
Wow, that was amazing.
I don't feel sick anymore.
Typical. Bootsy missed the dance. We were so in time too.
Miss Boots swings into the dressing room.
Girls, you were fabulous. That was the best I've seen you dance. Well done.
You saw us.
Every bit. Of course, I had to watch you in black and white on the caretaker's CCTV. But you were a knockout. Let's go and sit in the auditorium and await your scores.
Evening has fallen, and the hotel terrace has tiny white lights along its balustrade and candles on each table. Tom and Emily are seated at one of those tables, enjoying a glass of wine. Tom has his arm along the back of Emily's chair and is studying her profile.
What a beautiful sight.
I've never seen so many stars in the sky.
I wasn't talking about the stars.
Were you talking about that one-armed statue?
No, silly. I was talking about you.
I know, silly.
Dylan and Laura enter the terrace with a drink in their hand. They choose a table away from the other couple.
It's good to escape the pandemonium.
What's going on?
My friend's gnome hasn't turned up. They thought it had been moved to the new bedroom, but it wasn't with the rest of her stuff. She wants to call the police.
But it's only a garden ornament, unless there's something of value in it.
I overheard my dad saying he thought the ashes were in it.
The ashes? But they're kept under lock and key at Lord's. There hasn't been anything on the news about them being stolen.
Well, that's what he said. He's pretty upset. She swallowed the key to her suitcase.
How very curious.
Sharon and Charles saunter onto the terrace. Sharon is wearing a bright orange backless dress and Charles is in a white suit.
Oh, isn't this lovely? It's so quiet and peaceful.
Well, it was until you arrived.
What did you say, Dylan?
I said it makes me feel revived.
Laura smothers a laugh. Sharon isn't convinced Dylan wasn't rude to her.
Whatever.
Sharon sits down at Dylan and Laura's table.
Drinks, dear?
I'll have an incredible Hulk.
I wish you'd have something normal. It's highly embarrassing at the bar. I'm sure the bartender thinks I'm propositioning him. Do you want anything, Dylan? Laura?
No, thanks. We're going down to the disco. Come on, Laura.
Dylan and Laura exit quickly, and Charles follows them. They pass Simon and Trish as they appear on the terrace. Sharon, who had been left on her own, spots them and calls them over.
Hiya! Come sit down over here with me.
Hesitantly, Simon and Trish move over to the table. Simon painfully lowers himself into the chair.
What's the matter with you? You done your back in?
It's sunburn.
Oh, you want to get some after sun on that?
Oh, I've got plenty of after sun on it.
Here, has your mother let you out alone tonight?
She felt a little tired.
After the doctor gave her a sedative.
Yeah, we heard about the midget.
It's a gnome.
Yeah, perhaps he's gone gnome.
Charles re-enters with their drinks, deep in conversation with Sheena, who also has a drink. They draw up chairs and all sit together.
Why would anyone want to steal a gnome?
It hasn't been stolen, merely misplaced. I'm confident it will turn up.
Sherga was never found.
I don't think we can compare Bertram with Shergar.
Oh, I don't know. They both had pointy ears.
On the evening air, the sound of singing reaches those on the terrace.
Who's that singing?
They all watch as Miss Boots and the girls passed onto the terrace, jumping up and down and cheering. Miss Boots composes herself and realises she's being stared at by the guests.
I am sorry. Forgive our intrusion. The girls have just won the Torremolinos National Dance Competition. It's so exciting.
Congratulations. Allow me to buy you and the girls a drink.
Oh, can we, Miss Boots? Can we have Coke?
We don't mind having 0.
Or free.
That's very kind of you, but the girls need to have their dinner and get to bed.
We don't mind having milk. It's like so nutritious.
Very well then. Hooray! Milk it is. You can have it with your dinner.
Miss Boots ushers the complaining girls into the hotel.
It's so unfair.
Simon realises Laura isn't with them.
Where's Laura gone?
She's gone to the disco with Dylan.
Oh, what a good idea. Let's all go.
Sharon stands and picks up a drink.
Come on, everyone. Let's get this party started.
She grabs Simon's arm and pulls him up. He groans.
Sorry, Si, but no pain, no gain.
The others reluctantly follow, and they all exit into the hotel. Louise appears on the terrace. She is crying. She sits down at one of the tables. Frank enters from the hotel at a run, still limping a little.
I got your message.
Frank sits down and puts his arm around Louise.
I'm so sorry. They must be idiots to let you go.
I thought I had a chance. I couldn't have sung any better.
Sometimes it just comes down to personal taste. You mustn't give up.
I can't think about it at the moment. The dream is over.
Louise sobs harder and buries her face in Frank's shoulder.
Later that evening, when Emily and Tom and Louise and Frank have left, Captain Chalmers, Gracie and Carl enter the terrace. Captain Chalmers has a bandage around his head.
I can't believe you thought I said broom when I clearly said boom. Don't you know anything about sailing?
To be honest, I didn't know it was called a boom. And if I hadn't gone for the broom, it would have hit me on the head instead of you.
I think they should stay here tonight, in Carl's room, so we can keep an eye on you, just in case you have a concussion.
No, thank you. I'm safer on my own. Next time you want to go out on a yacht, don't include me.
The captain turns on his heel and strides onto the promenade.
He really has got a concussion. He hired the yacht.
Do you think I should follow him? Make sure he gets back to his hotel, all right?
He'll probably think you were stalking him and run in front of a car. Better not. He's had 2 accidents already. We don't want to risk a third.
You're right. He does seem to be having a run of bad luck.
The day of the cruise ship excursion arrives and sets sail under cloudless skies and gentle breezes. Dylan and Laura are standing by the handrail looking out to sea, while Sheena and Charles are enjoying the view of the coast. Mo, Paula and Sharon are sitting at a table with cocktails.
It's a shame your mum and dad couldn't make it, Laura, but I'm glad they let you come.
My dad is in agony with his sunburn, and my gran won't come out her room until her gnome comes up.
Your mum's going to be run off her feet then.
Oh, she's definitely off her feet. She's taken herself off to the spa for the day.
Look at all those fish.
There's thousands of them. The water is so clear.
I suppose someone must have stolen the gnome.
Perhaps they thought it was valuable.
Well, it would be if the ashes were inside. But I still haven't seen anything on the news about them being stolen. Do you think Interpol are watching us now?
Laura glances at Mo, Paula and Sharon, who are openly staring at her and Dylan.
I don't think it's just Interpol. It's the whole boat. They're all looking at us.
Dylan turns to look, but everyone is minding their own business.
Do you suffer from paranoia?
But they were looking at us.
Perhaps you've had too much sun. Come on, let's go inside for a bit.
Dylan takes her hand, and they stroll along the deck towards the inside lounge. Mo, Paula and Sharon have been steadily drinking cocktails and are on their way to becoming a bit tipsy. They have been discussing the blossoming romance between the 2 young people, and it is Mo who notices them move away.
Hello? Where are they off to?
Aren't they sweet?
Talking of sweet, where's Frank? He said he was in charge of this cruise, but I ain't seen him since we came on board.
Oh, Frank's a dreamboat. He saved my life.
And then put the whole plane in jeopardy by debilitating the captain.
Oh, that captain can float my boat any day. He's a dish.
I thought you were happily married to Charles.
Oh, yeah, well, a girl can still look, can't she? Between you and me, he's not as flush as he used to be. He might have trouble keeping up with me taste.
So if you meet a young, rich, handsome Spaniard, you'll ride off into the sunset with him.
Only if he's got an Harley Davis. I ain't going nowhere on no horse.
Mo looks through her binoculars.
Here comes Frank now.
Frank strolls along the deck towards the ladies.
Frank! We're having hanky-panky. Would you like some?
Not while I'm on duty. Actually, I didn't know the bar served cocktails.
Oh, it doesn't. We brought our own.
Mo holds up a flask.
One of the luxuries of having a bar in one suite.
Enjoy your cruise, ladies.
Frank smiles and strolls on.
You got a suite? Are you rich or something?
My dear departed husband was quite well off.
You mean husbands?
Ooh, dish the dirt. How many husbands have you had?
Well, let's see. There was Felix, Paddy, Edgar, and my last was Reginald.
They couldn't all have died.
They were pretty old. That's why they were living in Mo's nursing home.
I made their last days more comfortable.
Yes, and they've made your last years a lot more comfortable.
Well, you can buy the next round then, because this flask is empty. Come on, let's go to the bar.
The women gather up their bags and stroll along the deck to the bar. Sheena and Charles don't notice. They have been admiring the coastline.
What a gorgeous view. What made you decide to come to Spain, Charles?
A little business, a little pleasure. What about you?
Mo wanted to come here. She's had a tough time over the last few years and needed a break.
Have you been friends with Mo a long time?
We are more colleagues than friends. Mo is our boss. I've only worked for her for 3 months. Paula has known her much longer. Mo just lost her husband and didn't want to come on holidays alone.
Understandable. Are you married, Sheena?
I was, but it ended 10 years ago. I presume Sharon is your second wife.
Yes, my first wife died. It's not easy bringing up a child alone. Not easy being alone.
Sheena puts her hand lightly on his arm.
I'm sorry. It must have been hard, but you found happiness again.
Charles rests his hand over hers and quickly changes the subject.
I think we're about to disembark for lunch. I hear the paella is particularly good here.
Charles tucks her hand through his arm and leads her towards the exit. The hotel terrace is bathed in late afternoon sun. Rosie sits at a table, catching up on paperwork, when Carl approaches her from the hotel.
Hi, Carl. How did you get on?
I've been through the bins.
I wondered what the smell was.
Do I?
No, I was joking. Well, I've been through every bedroom in this hotel and there's no sign of Bertram.
Do you think he walked?
Wouldn't you?
I'd run.
Has she come out of her room yet?
No. She's holding Fly Me Holidays directly responsible and threatening to go on a hunger strike if we don't find him.
What does Mr. Bell say to that?
Ah!
Oh dear. Sunburn obviously know better. What about Mrs. Bell?
Well, here she comes now.
Trish and Captain Chalmers stroll onto the terrace deep in conversation. Each carries a drink, and the captain is sporting a plaster on his forehead. Carl and Rosie turn to look at each other in surprise as they hear Trish say,
I've never felt so relaxed. The spa was a wonderful idea.
It's been an altogether wonderful day.
The captain raises his glass.
To you, my dear.
I'm glad they were able to work out all your kinks after your boating accident.
Oh, I'm almost kink-free now. Perhaps I could take you out on the yacht tomorrow. We could sail over to Marbella, moor up, have lunch overlooking the marina.
Sounds lovely. I'm sure Simon would enjoy that.
Simon? But I thought he was out of action.
Oh, he should be better tomorrow. We may have to bring Edna too. We can't leave her cooped up in a room all holiday.
It just gets better and better.
Sorry?
I said the more the merrier.
Tom and Emily arrive on the terrace looking flushed and happy.
Hello, you two. Have you had a good day?
Hello, Rosie. We've just come back from Malaga. We've been to all the art galleries. They had a wonderful selection of paintings by Monet.
That's the lady who doesn't smile, isn't it?
You're thinking of Mona by Da Vinci.
It's all code to me.
Emily adores art.
And Tom adores me. Don't you, schmooky pooky poo?
Emily pulls Tom's cheek and Tom puts his arms around her.
You know I do. I'd do anything for my little snooky puss.
Tom and Emily, with eyes only for each other, stroll into the hotel. Rosie packs up her paperwork and she and Carl also go into the hotel, passing Simon and Edna, who stop short when they see Trish and the captain laughing together on the terrace.
Sure, Simon, this is what your wife gets up to while your back is turned.
Trish sees Simon and Edna, and she and the captain walk over to them.
Hello, darling. How's your back?
Turned. I mean, better, thank you. Did you have a relaxing day at the spa?
Very. Captain Chalmers has invited us to join him on his yacht tomorrow. I hope that'd be fun.
I'm afraid we're booked on the trip to Rhondda tomorrow.
Oh, we are?
Yes, we are. Well, I'm hardly in any fit state to do any sunbathing, am I?
Well, perhaps another time. It's been a delightful day, thank you.
The captain takes Trish's hand and kisses it before wandering away.
Hussy.
A delightful day? You spent the whole day with him?
He was at the reception this morning. I said if I was at the loose end, I should try the spa. I didn't know he was going to be there. Sort of clung to me.
At the look on Simon's face, Trish quickly adds,
Not literally, but I couldn't be rude.
Trish looks at Edna.
I see the hunger strike is over. Does that mean she's got her spirit back?
No, her spirit has not returned. She just became too hungry to carry on.
Spirit? Oh, good idea. Good strong whiskey. That's what I need. I'm off to the bar.
Edna scurries back into the hotel. Laura and Dylan stroll onto the terrace from the beach, his arm around her shoulders. As their eyes meet with those of Simon and Trish, he drops it guiltily.
Hi, how was the cruise?
Great. We swam with the fish all around us. It's so cool. Dylan's a really good swimmer.
I've never met anyone who can swim like Laura. She kept up with me the whole time.
I hope you stayed near the ship and didn't put my daughter in danger.
No, sir. I looked after her.
She even jumped in after Sharon when she fell off the edge of the harbour wall.
Oh, my. Did she need medical treatment?
A couple of paralysers, and she was fine.
Don't you mean paracetamol?
Dad, a paralyser is a cocktail.
It's not a good idea to take painkillers when you've already consumed the best part of your body weight in cocktails. Better just to have a few more. Besides, she had plenty of water to drink before I managed to pull her out.
You're amazing, Dylan. Everyone was cheering.
Simon and Trish look perplexed, so Laura changes the subject.
How's Gran?
By now she will be well on her way to that floaty place where troubles are a thing of the past.
Hunger strike has really taken hold then.
No, the whiskey. She's in the bar.
Come on, we'd better go and stop her from having too many.
Yeah, she might embarrass herself.
I'm more concerned about the bill.
The four of them exit into the hotel as Carl and Gracie enter the terrace.
I think it's a bit extreme giving a reward to anyone who finds the gnome. You do realise we're going to be inundated with gnomes?
Head office thought it was a good idea. They approved the £50. And anyway, it's already turned up some information.
Let me guess. Someone thinks they saw him in their garden.
The housekeeper heard a crash on the day the Belle's belongings were moved and went to investigate. The maid denied having dropped anything, and the housekeeper thought no more of it.
We need to speak to the maid. Do you have a name?
It's Carlota Sanchez, but she's not back until tomorrow.
Good work, Gracie. If this turns out to be our gnome, we're...
Carl's face drops as he realises their predicament.
Up the creek without a paddle. Edna Bell will have a fit if her gnome has been smashed to pieces.
Perhaps we could buy a new gnome and pretend he's had a makeover.
It's one option. Let's see what Carlotta Sanchez has to say tomorrow.
Carl ushers Gracie back into the hotel as Frank and Charles half carry Sharon onto the terrace. Mo, Paula and Sheena follow behind.
Why do I still feel as if I'm on the boat?
You've probably got water in your ears.
And an extremely high level of alcohol in your blood.
I don't feel well.
Perhaps we should get the hotel doctor to check her over.
Yes, perhaps he can give her a brain transplant.
Frank looks at Charles quizzically, but as Charles appears to be serious, he says nothing, and the three enter the hotel.
I like that, Sharon. She's all right. Husband's a bit of a boring old fart. Did you hear what he said when the boy pulled her out of the sea? Perhaps that will sober her up. She could have drowned. He didn't jump in to save her, did he?
Well, actually, he was taking his shoes off, but Dylan had already dived in.
You've taken a shine to Charles, haven't you?
He's a nice man, and I don't think Sharon always behaves appropriately.
She's a free spirit like me. I'll never let a man hold me back. I know what to do with men like that.
What?
I'll tell you one day, Paula. But right now, I need a drink.
Evening has fallen and the terrace looks cosy in the candlelight. Louise and Frank are sitting at one of the tables.
I'm sorry I had to work today.
It's okay. It gave me time to think.
About the future?
Yes.
Are you going home?
Not until the end of the week. I might as well enjoy myself now I'm here.
And then what?
I'm going to enroll in stage school. I'm not going to give up.
Frank takes her hand.
I'm glad. It would be a waste if you did. What about your boyfriend?
He's right here.
Frank does a double take.
Where?
It's you, silly. It was over with Jake before I left.
When are you going to tell him?
I already have. He was more concerned that he'd run out of clean underwear and wanted to know where to find some. You do wash your own clothes, don't you?
Of course I do. Ariel and I have a strong relationship.
Should I be jealous?
Absolutely not. My character is whiter than white.
At least you're not a fairy, man.
Allow me to dispel that thought right here and now.
Frank takes Louise in his arms and kisses her. Tom and Emily are visiting the Salvador Dali Art Gallery in Marbella. Emily is in her element as she wanders around, while Tom takes a break on a bench.
I'd like to hang this painting on my wall at home.
We could buy a print in the shop.
No, I want the real thing.
It's not for sale. And if it was, we couldn't afford it in 100 of our lifetimes.
There's no one around.
Are you suggesting we steal it?
Emily sits beside Tom on the bench.
Yes, we just take it off the wall and walk out.
I'm beginning to think you're serious, which is seriously worrying. We can't steal it because we'll get caught and thrown into jail. Some honeymoon that would turn out to be.
I'm going to do it.
Emily walks over to the painting and reaches up to the frame, but Tom is behind her and spins her around.
Emily, will you get a grip?
She reaches up and touches his cheek, a mix of love and mischief on her face.
You're right. It probably wouldn't suit the room anyway.
Charles and Sheena suddenly appear in the doorway. Sheena recognises the honeymooners.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Are you art lovers too?
Sheena's face drops guiltily.
I've been here many times, but this is Sheena's first. I wanted to show her the Salvador Dali paintings.
Aren't they amazing? I could hang them in every room of my house.
But we don't have enough walls. Come on, let's see more.
Tom takes Emily's arm and propels her away.
See you later.
Sheena waits until they have gone before she speaks.
I shouldn't be here.
She takes a step away from Charles.
Of course you should.
Charles catches her hand.
Does Sharon know I'm with you?
Yes, and frankly, she doesn't care. She was more interested in meeting up with Mo today. Let's forget about Sharon. I want to find out more about you.
Charles leads Sheena to the bench, and they sit down.
Let's play a game. I ask you a question, and then you ask me. Pretty soon we'll know all there is to know about each other. What is your favourite play?
There are 39 steps. Your favorite author?
Charles Dickens. Favourite composer?
Elgar. Favorite hobby?
Tennis.
Mine too.
Favourite food?
Paella. Favorite place?
Right here. Right now.
There is a pause as they look at each other intently.
Favourite wine?
Forbidden fruit. Sweet bread.
They look into each other's eyes a moment and then kiss. The captain is sitting on the hotel terrace reading a newspaper and enjoying a beer when Rosie, Gracie, Carl and Frank step out of the hotel.
Ah, girls, you're just in time for cocktail hour. Come and sit down. Not you two.
The captain points at Carl and Frank.
I'm taking out an injunction against you. You're a danger to me.
Carl and Frank look faintly offended.
Sorry, Captain. We're having a meeting.
The four sit down at a table on the other side of the terrace.
What are you doing here anyway?
The Hilton are hosting a male choir conference. The delegates were becoming a nuisance.
You mean they were singing too loudly?
No, they were coming on to me.
Rosie rolls her eyes and the others grin.
So, what did Carlotta Sanchez have to say?
She admitted knocking the gnome off the chest of drawers and it's smashing to pieces on the floor.
This is not good news.
However, her husband is a potter. She took the bits home with her, and he's mended it.
Well, that's great news. So we can give it back to Edna Bell.
When it's dry, which should be tomorrow, Carlotta's going to bring it in to work with her.
So we don't have to tell the Bells it was broken?
I don't see why we need to. We'll have to invent a story as to where we found it, though.
What about the ashes?
What ashes?
It says in this newspaper that someone has stolen the ashes from Lord's. Can you believe that? The audacity.
What have the ashes got to do with the Bell's gnome?
Nothing. Just making conversation.
The four return to their conversation.
Perhaps we could say the gnome was returned anonymously.
I like it. That's a good idea, Gracie.
The four get up and go back into the hotel.
Was it something I said?
Olivia, Charlotte, Sophie and Chloe, the pupils from St Maud's School, spill out of the hotel onto the terrace.
Hello, girls. On your own?
No.
Where is a delectable Miss Boots?
In the hotel.
So where are you off to?
Nowhere.
She doesn't let you out of her sight, does she?
We just wanted to go down to the beach on our own.
I tell you what, I'll come with you, and then when she asks where you've been, you can say I've been keeping an eye on you. That should reassure her.
Right.
The girls exchange looks. Charlotte points to the promenade.
Here comes Miss Boots, now.
The captain eagerly stands up and his gaze sweeps the promenade while the girls run down to the beach. He realises they have gone and sits down with a dejected air, then sniffs under his armpits.
The old lynx is definitely letting me down today.
Dylan and Laura creep furtively onto the hotel terrace, checking to see if anyone is there, but it's deserted.
No one is here.
I can't believe we've had the whole day to ourselves.
Let's sit out here for a while.
Laura and Dylan pull up chairs and sit down. The captain has left his newspaper on the table, and Dylan picks it up.
Someone's left an English newspaper here. It's Monday's. Oh my.
What?
The ashes have been stolen. It says the historical and priceless ashes urn has been stolen from the MCC Museum at Lord's. The terracotta urn was last seen in its glass case on Friday afternoon. The security guard first noticed it was missing on Saturday morning as he did his rounds. As the case has not been broken into, police believe this could be an inside job.
I can't see how it could have had anything to do with my grand gnome. I don't know anyone who works at Lord's.
But why else would someone steal your grand's gnome? And you did hear your dad say he thought the ashes were inside.
Please don't say anything. I don't want my dad to get in trouble. I can't believe he would steal the ashes.
Simon steps out of the hotel.
Ah, there you are. We were just about to send out a search party.
He crosses to Laura and Dylan.
Your mother was getting worried, young lady.
Simon notices the newspaper on the table.
Is that the Mail? Do you mind if I read it after you, Dylan? I do like to see the cricket scores.
Be my guest. It was left here on the table.
Simon takes the newspaper and strolls back into the hotel. Dylan and Laura exchange looks and follow him. Charles, Sharon, Mo, Sheena, Paula, Emily and Tom arrive back from their trip to Granada. They are hot and tired. Sharon, Mo and Paula fall into the seats on the terrace.
I am dying of thirst. It was so hot in that palace.
You were only in it 10 minutes. You spent the rest of the day in El Corte Inglés.
Called what?
The department store.
Oh, yeah. Much more civilised. They've got air conditioning.
Sharon turns to Mo and Paula.
Charles will get our drinks. What do you want?
I'll have a hurricane, please.
Earthquake, please.
And I'll have a death in the afternoon.
You're just making these up now, aren't you?
I'll come with you, Charles.
Thank you, Sheena.
They disappear into the hotel as Simon, Trish, Edna, Laura and Dylan arrive on the terrace.
I know I had them at the palace. They're Ray-Man. Cost me a fortune.
Ran, don't you mean Ray-Ban?
That's what I said. Ray-Man. Designer sunglasses.
Yes, Laura. She got them in the same shop as her Strada handbag and her Timmy shoes.
Carl approaches the bells, followed by Gracie, Rosie and Frank. He is carrying a large bag.
Hello, everyone. Did you have a good day in Granada?
Yes, I thought the palace was charming.
Everyone nods in agreement.
I have some very good news for you.
A gnome was left at reception today.
And I believe it may be yours, Edna.
Carl takes the gnome out of the bag and holds it up to Edna.
Bertram!
Edna takes the gnome and hugs him to her. Simon, Trish and Laura look relieved while Dylan looks quizzical.
Who handed him in?
I'm afraid it was anonymous.
And he hasn't been tampered with?
I'm sure Edna knows him better than anyone else. Is he as you remember him, Edna?
Of course I remember him. Nothing wrong with my memory.
Edna stalks off with the gnome.
So all's well that ends well.
Carl and the other 3 holiday reps heave a deep sigh of relief and head back inside the hotel to celebrate.
I don't like it.
Neither do I. He's got an evil little grin.
Not the gnome, the situation. Did you see how shiny and clean he was? He didn't look like that before he was taken.
It just means whoever took him looks after him.
Do you think he was a mule?
Simon and Trish look at him as if he's mad, and Simon makes a finger-to-head gesture, which only Trish sees.
He's a gnome, dear, not a donkey. I think we're all a little dehydrated. Come on, let's go and get a drink.
Trish takes Dylan's arm and leads him into the hotel. Simon and Laura follow. Sharon is becoming impatient for her cocktail.
What on earth is he doing? Making them himself?
I expect they're talking.
Who?
You must have seen how friendly Charles and Sheena have become.
What do you mean, friendly?
Intimate.
Oh, you are joking. He wouldn't know how. He's too much of a gentleman.
Sharon's expression changes as she considers the situation.
Not to mention it, he has been spending a lot of time with her.
Sharon stands up and purposely walks into the hotel.
That wasn't very nice, Mo.
He had it coming.
Tom and Emily wander onto the terrace. She is dressed in a blue sparkly cocktail dress, and he is wearing a jacket and open-neck shirt.
Can't believe our honeymoon is almost over.
And I can't believe I almost ruined it.
Shush.
Tom puts his finger to her lips.
This is the journey. We're bound to have a few ups and downs.
Tom takes her hands.
It's been a wonderful honeymoon.
You haven't minded me dragging you to all the art galleries and museums I could find?
It's been an experience. I know how much all these old things mean to you.
When we get home, I'm going to be the perfect wife. I've even got a surprise for you.
A surprise?
How would you like to go to the England versus Sri Lanka game?
At Lord's? I thought it was sold out.
It is, but I get special privileges, remember? There's no point in being head curator at the MCC Museum if I can't get the best tickets in the house.
Tom hugs Emily.
You're amazing, Emily. You always get what you want, don't you?
Oh, yes, Tom. Oh, yes.
The evening of Frank's pièce de résistance, an evening at the Scala nightclub. The room is decorated with walls of glitter, white feathers, orchids and glitter balls hanging from the ceiling. Simon, Trish and Edna are seated at one table. Sharon, Mo, Paula and Miss Boots at another. Laura and Dylan are on the dance floor. He's twirling Laura around and she's laughing. Sheena and Charles are talking to Emily and Tom near the bar. Carl, Frank, Louise, Rosie and Gracie are standing at the back chatting with the captain. Miss Boots appears much more relaxed without her pupils and openly enjoying herself.
I must say, these cocktails are delicious. You'd never knew they were alcohol-free. Oh, excuse me.
The captain makes his way over to Miss Boots.
Why, Miss Boots, you look ravishing this evening.
Oh, please call me Yvonne.
The captain puts his drink down on the table and pulls Miss Boots to her feet.
Come and dance with me, Yvonne.
The captain and Miss Boots join the other dancers. Paula picks up Miss Boots' glass and sniffs it.
That's never alcohol-free. Did you buy it for her, Mo?
Certainly not. It was the captain. It would appear he has designs on our Miss Boots. Paula, can you get me another painkiller, please?
Do you mean aspirin or another one of those cocktails?
What do you think? In fact, get another round.
Paula accepts the money Mo offers her and goes to the bar. As soon as she has moved away, Mo reaches into her bag and brings out a small bottle.
Sharon, this is for you.
Sharon squints at the label.
Castor oil? No thanks, I'll regular as clockwork, me.
Sharon goes to hand it back, but Mo puts her hand over it.
No, it's not what you think. You remember our discussion? You want to be free and wealthy? Just tip it into his drink, and all your troubles will be over.
At that moment, Charles and Sheena return to the table and sit down. Sharon hides the bottle in her hand.
Sharon, go and help Paula with the drinks. The next round is on me. Same again, Charles.
That's very kind, Mo.
Would you like me to help you, Sharon?
No thanks, Sheena. I know what I'm doing.
Sharon follows Paula to the bar. Laura and Dylan stop dancing and join Simon and Trish at their table. The captain, Miss Boots, Emily and Tom are talking together. Paula and Sharon return with trays of drinks and place them on the table in front of Mo, Charles and Sheena. The captain escorts Miss Boots back to the table. She picks up the glass and gives the captain his.
You really are an exotic dancer, Miss Boots. I've never seen moves like yours before.
Oh, I seem to have lost my inhibitions tonight. I feel so alive. I can't think why.
Miss Boots knocks back the rest of her cocktail.
I think I'll just need to take a breather, but I'll be back for the next dance. Don't go away.
The captain wanders over to the bells table and strikes up a conversation. Mo picks up her glass.
Let's have a toast. Here's to new friendships.
Everyone picks up their glasses.
New friendship.
Sheena stops, glass midway to her lips.
This isn't my drink. I think it must be the captain's.
Over at the bells table, the captain is choking and clutching his chest. He collapses on the floor and Carl and Frank rush to him. Everyone looks on in horror.
Frank, call for an ambulance.
Frank pulls out his mobile phone as Carl starts CPR on the captain. The hotel terrace, later that night. Mo is sitting at a table with a drink when Sharon rushes in.
Oh, God, Mo! I've killed the captain. How are we going to get home now?
That's the least of your worries. I don't understand why you put the poison in Sheena's glass instead of your husband's.
He might be a starchy old git. I didn't want to kill him. Getting rid of her seemed a better idea.
Sentiment will get you into trouble. What did you do with the bottle?
It's in me bag.
You'd better give it back to me. Safer if I've got it.
I'll go and get it.
Sharon turns and comes face to face with Charles.
Looking for this?
Charles holds up a sealed bag with a bottle inside.
I believe this will have both your fingerprints on it.
It's just castor oil.
I may be a starchy old git, but I have excellent hearing. I'm also wearing a wire.
Do your trousers keep falling down then?
I knew there was something funny about you.
Unfortunately, this isn't a laughing matter, is it? I've been investigating you for quite a while, and now I have the proof I need.
Yes, but your wife's going to be in it up to her neck too.
The captain will pull through. She didn't put enough poison in his glass to kill him, but the poor chap's going to be pretty sore for a few days. I'll be making a full report to my superiors shortly.
Charles turns and exits into the hotel.
Are we going to prison, Mo?
Not yet. I reckon this is to do with the insurance. Come on. We have some arrangements to make.
Mo finishes her drink and propels the shaken Sharon into the hotel. Saturday, the hotel terrace, early morning. Carl, Frank and Rosie emerge from the hotel as Gracie arrives back from the hospital.
The captain's conscious,
Oh, thank goodness.
but he's really angry and wants to know who spiked his drink.
Well, I never went near it.
Nor me.
How are we going to get home without the captain?
I've spoken to London. They're sending someone out this morning. We should be okay to fly home this evening as planned. We need to let our passengers know. Come on.
They follow Carl back into the hotel. Dylan and Laura stroll up from the beach.
Do you think we might get to stay a bit longer? The captain can't fly us home.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? I'm going to miss you, Laura.
I'm going to miss you too.
They hug. Trish steps out of the hotel and stops when she sees them. She begins to turn around when Laura sees her.
Mum?
I don't want to interrupt. You're saying your goodbyes. You'll be able to scoop each other, you know.
Sorry.
She means Skype.
And you can come and stay with us if you want to, Dylan.
Thank you, Trish. That's very kind of you. I'd like that.
Simon's head appears around the doorway.
We need to go to a meeting in the lounge. It's about arrangements for departure.
Sheena trundles her suitcase out of the hotel and sits at a table. She is visibly upset. Charles enters a few seconds later with his suitcase, accompanied by Dylan.
Sheena, I've been looking for you.
Have you, Charles? So you can pump me for a bit more information about Mo.
Can you give us a moment, please, Dylan?
Dylan looks from one to the other and then returns to the hotel.
Did I ever ask you about Mo?
No, not really.
I was only ever interested in you as a person, not in what you could or couldn't tell me.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. I haven't been exactly open with you. I'm an investigator for an insurance company.
But Sharon is your wife.
At this moment in time, but not for much longer, we will be parting company.
Charles sits down beside Sheena and takes her hand.
I want to see you again, Sheena, when we get home.
I want to see you too, Charles.
Gracie bursts out of the hotel.
Have you seen a gnome?
Gracie realises she has interrupted an intimate moment.
Oh, sorry.
Gracie hurries back inside. Emily and Tom appear with their suitcases and sit down at a table. There is a newspaper on the table and Tom picks it up.
Em?
Yes?
It says the ashes have been stolen.
Does it?
You're not surprised?
No. I moved it before we came away. I had a suspicion it was going to be stolen, so I took the real one and hid it in the vault. It won't be difficult for the police to find the fake. I put a tracking device in it.
You really do have an IQ of 145.
It's 155 actually, but I don't like to brag.
Dylan approaches Charles, who's carrying an envelope.
Dad, I've just seen Sharon in reception. She asked me to give you this.
Charles takes the envelope, opens it, and scans the contents.
Your stepmother won't be coming home with us. Apparently, she's been offered a tour of Spain on a Harley Davidson.
Cool. Let's hope she remembers to wear some knickers.
In a state of anxiety, Simon, Trish, Edna and Laura pull their suitcases onto the terrace.
How can it have gone missing again?
I'm not going home without Bertram.
Good, you can stay here then.
I'm going to stay here.
Amazing. For once, we agree.
Rosie, Gracie, Frank and Carl rush onto the terrace.
Edna, I'm so sorry we
can't find your gnome.
I am not going home.
Oh, yes, you are. I'm not leaving you here.
Simon grabs hold of Edna's suitcase and drags it towards him. The suitcase flies open to reveal the gnome inside.
Well, well, well. We have a stowaway. Gran, you already packed him in your suitcase.
I've never seen him before.
Fly Me. The radio play was directed by Judith Foote. Sound editing by Tony Garwood. All the parts were played by members of Peacehaven Players and Friends. Details are on screen now and on our website and social media. The show was recorded in May 2020 during the COVID-19 lockdown. Rehearsals and recordings were all done remotely by telephone conference. This play is dedicated to the staff of the NHS, to whom we are very grateful. There is no charge for listening to and enjoying this play, but we would ask you to donate, if you can, to our NHS fund. Details are on the screen now, on our website and all our social media.